Welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 3, a Let's Play by glorious Christian, who's sitting here, ready, having a nice bowl of cookie dough ice cream in this frozen, awful tundra that he probably isn't ever going to call home. I'm going to get out of this place as soon as possible. Well, this is segment 2. I'm welcoming you guys back. We're at the end of the first week, and we've already explored part of the world. This is the Queen's campaign, or, well, Long Live the Queen, I believe was the name. So we're going to get underway, and we're going to advance to the second week, and hopefully Christian will be able to become a brave, stalwart champion that Gotham, that Caryatid needs. This episode, I'm going to try and focus a bit more on the game design to get you to understand some of the reasons for the way things are. So, a little bit of recap. So we have units, we have a world that we can explore with those units. My units have little red flags. And we'll find things in the overworld. Some of them, such as this sawmill right here, will have flags that you can claim. The sawmill will provide me with resources on a regular basis. Others have once-a-week effects, such as the windmill or the stables, which will provide you with resources every week for the first person who visits them. Other things, like the trading post or the School of Magic, have other varying effects. Some places, such as this guardhouse or this Griffin Tower over here, can let you recruit units, which you can normally do in your main capital. Those units, you go into battle with other infernal foes, and you fight on a hex grid, and you fight back and forth. A lot of the game's gameplay is made up of how you deal with your overworld objectives. Now, you can generally go for like a resource victory by trying to claim as many resource locations as quick as possible, or you can go for an experience victory in a sense by getting a really high-level hero and just trudging through your opponent's area. I'm going with an explorer's route with having like one collector who has just a single pikeman. Sylvia's off going to collect things on behalf of Christian, our brave and valiant hero with an army at his command. So, I'm going to end the turn, this button right here, and move on to the second week. Week 2. Astrologers proclaim the week of the Mighty Gorgon. Mighty Gorgon growth +5. You know, because in real life, every passing week allows one species to grow greatly. All dwellings increase population. So I'm going to head straight to my dwelling, because it's where I dwell. Check out, like, I really don't think they'd ever make a show called MTV Dwellings, but mine is pretty sick. So, these are the units I can recruit. We see the available number of units went back to their maximum capacity, meaning that I can just recruit these units, and now the holdings are much stronger. So once I visit back here with my main hero, I can just gather all these units and head up on my way. I have buildings that I can upgrade. I think I probably want to get the stables pretty soon, just so I can get Christian and Sylvia moving around the world a little bit quicker. I could upgrade my Griffin Bastion to get more Griffins per week. Not really worth it this early in the week. I could upgrade my monastery or my castle. I really want to get my capital online so I can get extra gold per day. I generally like going for massive resource advantage. So I'm going to build my castle right now. This is also going to increase the maximum unit growth. So you get this incentive here where you can upgrade to like the castle, the largest creature growth multiplier or increaser. Or you can just get all of the different buildings. So you kind of have this competing decision of how do you want to get creature growth. Do you want diversity, or do you just want a lot of the specific ones you have? Like, I don't have a monastery or a training grounds, or a portal of glory. I'm not going to be able to get one of those this game. No angels, sadly. So I just have these 4, but I can make a lot of those 4 units. Okay, so I'm back in the overworld, and let's get into some action. Well, some looting for money. Ooh, we have a School of War. This lets Christian pick a skill at the cost of only 10,000 gold. The battle-scarred instructor of the School of War grunts of war grunts as I pass by. It's not a school of war grunts, it's a school of war, and the instructor is who grunts. I'm very good at set instruction. For a fee of 1,000 gold, he can teach me my choice of a new attack or defense skill. Now, I'm going to probably go with attack skill because I generally like shredding the enemy army fairly early on. And Christian's just going to head to school and learn things. This rune right here gives Sylvia some spell power, which is pretty useless. And I'm just going to send her around to go collect some resources. Now, this mystical garden, it'll have refreshed by this week. So let's advance the day. Christian's just going to go continuing to loot. I found an abandoned lean-to. Poking around, I discover some resources hidden nearby. Well, that was nice of them to leave random junk around. The sound of music brings me to a small garden. I'm able to sneak up on a leprechaun, and I rob him of his stuff. Because leprechauns aren't people, they're second-class citizens. You can just steal them and take their things. So, back in Caryatid, I'm going to upgrade and make it my capital. Now see, this gives me 4,000 gold a day, and I'm only getting 2,000. So if I, like, say, procrastinated and built this in, like, a week, I'd be missing out on 14,000 gold. Which, it just seems foolish not to do that, and not to get this as upgraded as possible. Because then I get more gold, and I can recruit more units, and buy and build more upgrades. Because gold is generally really good. Okay, so I've cleaned through the bottom of that area. Ooh, that's an artifact. I want to get that. But it's looking like I have a lot to do here, back here, and then I have a way to go through those pit fiends. So I actually think Sylvia's gonna gather herself an army and start clearing out. I'm gonna make another building. I think I kind of want to get the Mages Guild full, but stables are the next primary objective. So I'm just gonna send Christian up here, and let's see if we can find something evil to slaughter, like Walking Dead. Nobody likes that band. Cue the thousands of hate mails complaining about The Walking Dead. So Sylvia has returned to Caryatid. The head groom approaches, leading a fine warhorse. The steed will help you speed in your travels. Alas, his endurance will wane with a lot of heavy riding, and you must return for a fresh mount at the start of every week. So I'm gonna get a horse that I'm gonna tire out because, you know, Sylvia's been eating a bit too much ice cream. Okay, so I can upgrade a bunch of different things. I think I kind of want to get Cavaliers because they're a mobile unit, but also upgrading to Marksman is my main priority. I generally like the high damage, high range units, and by doing this, I now have a giant army of Marksmen. So Sylvia's very well equipped at this point. I'm going to leave most of the slower units behind in hopes that I can upgrade them and leave them with Christian, who sort of is more capable. I can also have Sylvia visit my Mage's Tower, my one-floor Mage's Tower. To cast spells, your hero must first buy a spellbook for 500 gold. Do I wish to buy one? Yeah, it's 500 gold, and I get access to Magic Missile, Slow, Protection from Fire, Cure, and Bless. Now the good ones here: Magic Arrow, Slow, and Bless. Magic Arrow just does flat damage. Slow reduces the move speed of an enemy unit. And Bless makes a unit do maximum damage. So if I have this giant stack of archers right here, and I bless them before they attack, they're going to do a good deal more damage, and I'm going to remove some of their random chance to just do little damage. So I'm going to get Sylvia underway to start fighting. I'm an equal opportunity kingdom. I don't say Christian is the only one who can fight. I just say that's his main job. The Walking Dead, awed by the power of my forces, begin to scatter. Do I wish to pursue and engage them? Yes. I will slay those 17 cleaver-wielding corpses. So, I can just move my dudes in, but that's probably not going to be the best thing. I'm just going to move them forward enough that I can control the fight and as my marksman just unloads, I can just drop those those corpses without losing any units. That sort of strategy I found to be much more effective. There isn't really a lot of gap closing capability. Now see, this artifact I can claim right here is actually bad for me. I'm gonna have someone else pick it up, and after I kill all these units and claim this gold mine. So, let's get Sylvia fighting things. The creatures are swayed by my diplomatic tongue. Make me an offer. All 30 of them will join my army for the sum of 1950 gold. Do I accept? Now see, this is a really bad rate to get the units, but it's recruiting units that you didn't expect you'd get, so sometimes it's beneficial. Now I'm in an early stage of the game, and this gold isn't super valuable. I have a good surplus going right now, so I'm going to go ahead and recruit them, because they're just going to be fodder that I'll send to its death. So I'm going to go after the pack of Gogs, which also want to join me, apparently. And now I'm going to recruit some pikemen. They just join my army, because I'm a glorious, glorious equal opportunities human. And I'm not working with the forces of evil or anything malicious. So next I'm gonna upgrade, or I'm gonna build a monastery, because I really need some monkeys. These are obviously monkeys. They shoot fire. They're another one of the ranged units I really enjoy using, because they just do a lot of damage output while being fairly durable. So Christian, I'm gonna have you deal with the Evil Eyes. The Evil Eyes will come first. Evil Eyes are nasty ranged units, and they're probably going to kill a good number of my pikemen. Or they're going to be jerks and go after my marksmen. See, that's what I don't want to happen, because I can't... Like, marksmen are much more valuable. The pikemen are here as fodder. Apparently the Evil Eyes have good morale. What you saw right there was basically just a free turn. They got to go for free, because hacks, that's why. Up! I'm hacking too! Close that gap. And now I'm just going to lay down some more damage. And now at this point, the Evil Eyes are afraid of the melee units, so they're going to focus on killing out the melee units. More morale. And let's pop most of these Evil Eyes. As I said probably in the last video, don't fire until you can see the whites of their eyes, which really isn't that hard, so stab! See, I lost some marksmen and some pikemen, but pikemen are a lot cheaper and less useful, so I'm okay with that. And I got access to a gold mine. I gained control of a gold mine. Really, I didn't gather that already. It will provide me with 1,000 gold per day. Now this is a huge resource advantage over any opponent, but it's also in a really inconvenient spot in this desolate frozen wasteland that my enemies aren't going to likely get in the way of it. Ooh, I also see an artifact nestled in. In my wanderings, I come across a hermit, not a small hermit, living in a tiny, tidy hut. Impressed with my mission, he takes the time out of his meditation to bless and give you charms against curses. I have gained the Pendant of Holiness. Christian will wear it on his masculine neck. Wearing this item renders my units immune to the curse spell. Pretty darn useless, but I'll take free stuff. So next up, I probably want to go kill those gargoyles, but I'll get to that in time. I'm going to claim the gold because Sylvia won't be in here anytime soon. Sylvia's probably going to go deal with those hellhounds. Now see, they're running away, but I want to kill something because they're dogs. They're evil dogs. And I want to send my Gogs to their death. But that's probably not going to happen. Oh, okay. Nope, my Gogs might die. Nope, my Troglodytes are first on the chopping block. I think I'm just going to wait. So, something you can do with units is you can tell them to wait. That basically belays their turn until the end of the turn order. Like this guy, these pikemen aren't going to win in that fight. So I just want to wait. Now see, the Gogs just took out 2 of the Hellhounds. Now I have a much better shot at fighting there, so I want to wait until the end of the order. I had already waited with my Griffins, so I'm going to just move them in and take them out. I only lost some Troglodytes, but at this point, it's just gold, and I didn't really care. So I'm going to move into the mercenary camp. I've come upon a camp of mercenaries practicing their combat tactics. thanks. They welcome me and my troops and invite me to train with them. And they didn't even charge me money. That's pretty awesome. A monk sitting in the center of a garden invites me to meditate with him. I do, and after a short time I feel enlightened. Sitting in a garden teaches you things. Remember that, kids. Go outside. You don't get any skill points sitting in front of a computer. You do sitting in a garden with monks. Random monks. So, the point of things like the mercenary camp and the garden with the monk is they give you this incentive for your heroes to visit there, which can make a hero a lot more powerful. If you have high attack and defense, you do more damage in a fight. If you have a lot of resources, you can get more units, but those units aren't quite as valuable. So you have this sort of back and forth decision. Now I'm gonna go buy something. I've got a lot of units per week. I think training grounds is the next most valuable thing, but I could also get Griffin Bastion just to get as many Griffins as possible, because they're generally the tanky units in my ranged-based strategy. But the Cavaliers are also fairly tanky and mobile, so I'm gonna go with them. I also hadn't bought this already, so I'm just gonna get 2 Cavaliers. So I'm gonna end the turn, and we are at the end of the second week already. I'm going to send Christian to clear out the stone gargoyles. These guys are a high mobility unit that's not too durable, but they can drop a good amount of damage. So I'm going to get my pikeman in the way of the gargoyle, just so that way he doesn't go after the marksman. But it didn't work. I like how my marksman's just decked him. Now see, the marksman will be able to win that fight, but they won't do as much damage. I think I want to send him after those gargoyles. Oh no, I have to punch. Okay, so what I wanted to do was my marksman do more damage than my pikeman, so I wanted to have my pikeman shoot, or my marksman shoot, but my pikeman attack this unit. Kill the units, got XP, dead, win. See, look at me. I'm just looping through, my horse is happy, breathing a bit of fire. Okay, moving on. So I've leveled up again. I can get expert leadership, which increases their morale to 3, so I just get more free turns. Or I can get basic luck. So my units will just always have good luck, which means that sometimes they'll just hit for maximum damage. Now see, that's not a bad ability for a Christian to have, just because it can turn games completely in my favor. So I will take the win with RNG option. Now, I found an artifact. A merchant from faraway lands trades me a new invention of his people for traveling supplies. It makes distant objects appear closer. He calls it the speculum. I can only speculate where he got that idea. So I'm going to get Christian back towards the main area, and I'm going to have him start clearing through. I'm going to have Sylvia... Oh, I didn't get that one, no. I'm going to have Sylvia just start heading out on her way, and she's going to deliver a bunch of troops to Christian. He needs to pick up diplomacy. Okay, I've advanced to the 3rd week. Population of the mongoose. You don't always get one random population growing, so I'm going to get Christian underway. Christian, I'm just going to send straight back to the town. And Sylvia, I'm going to have her stop at the windmill. And then I'll have her stop at the stables, probably. So I'm back in the main town. Now see, I can upgrade the Griffin Bastion to get more Griffins per week, or I could start caring about the spells that Christian will have access to. Or I could upgrade the units for my mobility strategy. I think I probably want to upgrade the units, but I also really desire to have Christian having access to pretty powerful spells. So I'm going to upgrade the Mage's Tower, and we see new spells. Ice Bolt, which does damage. Quicksand, which is awful, and I'll explain that later. Remove Obstacle, which gets stuff out of my way, pretty useful sometimes. And Disrupting Ray. Disrupting Ray is kinda good. Okay, so I have a bunch of units available right here. I'll get to that in a little bit. Or I'll get back to that in a little bit. So Christian is gonna get underway. Now see, I'm having Sylvia come over here just because I want to upgrade and get all the free stats from over here and pick up the free resources and stuff. So she's probably going to be here all week. All week. So she doesn't really need the stables quite as much as Christian does, because I want him to be doing a lot of my heavy lifting out in the way. So I'm just gonna, because of the wealth of resources I've already collected, I'm just gonna go ahead and get more spells accessible. We gained Frost Ring, which does damage to everything around 1 square, but doesn't hit the square. Teleport, which is awesome. Anti-Magic, which is mediocre. So Teleport lets me take something like this Swordsman, who's a slow unit with a speed of 5, but I can just drop it suddenly on their awesome ranged unit and just start messing up their day. I get some horses, and I'm just going to head straight back home. She's going to go collecting things, and I'm just going to get in. Now, I think I kind of want to upgrade the Mage's Tower a bit more, but I also really want to upgrade my units. I think the Training Grounds is my next buy, but the Griffin Tower will help make those units last longer and do better. So I think Christian gets here tomorrow, and I didn't trade the units. Ooh. So when I advanced the turn, our camera focused around here, which implies something important is happening down here, which means it's entirely possible we're going to see an enemy soon. Now, when we see an enemy hero, we're probably going to need to slay them. Yeah. Let's go with kill the evildoers because we don't understand anything about them. That sounds like the appropriate thing. I'm going to upgrade to zealots, which aren't monkeys, but zealots are really awesome because they just do tons of damage and they don't have a melee penalty and they're actually pretty durable. So, Christian's in town. Let's recruit. Because of the amount of money I have, I can just buy everything. And I'm going to upgrade the units I have here. Now see these pikemen? They're just going to drop in 1 stack. And now I can get a spell book. Yes. You see, Teleport is going to be awesome with my stack of pikemen. Because I can just drop my pikemen in their back line. And then they kill my pikemen, my most useless unit. And my pikemen do good damage. So, like, I think that's just downright a win-win. And I'm going to have Christian get Diplomacy. Because that's an awesome ability to have later, and I definitely want to have access to it. Okay. We see a hero over here. Now, he has a lot of units. And that's actually going to be kind of a problem, and I kind of wish she had access to a stable. You see, I can have Sylvia fight, but I really don't know that I can win this fight. So I think I'm just going to run straight away, and Christian's going to go throw down a beatdown, because he has gigantic move speed. I'm going to go ahead... Okay, I need a little bit more ruby and some more mercury. Oh yeah, these resources are wood, mercury, ore, sulfur, crystal, and gems. Gems are truly outrageous. Now there's not really anything worth upgrading here, so I'm just going to throw the build time at upgrading the cheaper things that get me more units. Let's advance the day. So we saw him, he didn't move very far, he doesn't have access to stables. Now, however, Christian can get straight into combat with him immediately. It says 2, but I think I can fight today. Nope. I want to get Sylvia out of here. I really want to trade off units, but I need to get Sylvia out of here because I don't want to have to rehire her because she died. Gonna move in. There isn't a whole lot worth upgrading left at this point, so I'm just going to throw it at the cheap thing, so that way my pikemen can be a little bit more useful. The halberdiers do more damage. You can also see the recruit costs are different. Halberdiers cost more, but they're generally better units. Okay, so he took my sulfur dunes in the middle of this awful wasteland, and then he started to head for my main town. Now this is not acceptable. Now we see my gloriously armored self fighting against this flaming fiend. Now, so let's get some things going. Let's make use of teleport. I don't have access to it. Oh, okay. So spell levels. So this is my spell book. So I can cast a spell once per round. I have access to a bunch of different spells, and we see I have access to 2nd level pretty much at the best. So I can't cast 3rd level spells, such as my really awesome teleport spell. But I can do a couple things. Now those guys, they want to die. they hit harder. So I actually want to... Oh, darn, I just used the wrong spell. So, the spell I just used is called Quicksand. What it does is it makes puddles of quicksand, which stop the movement of the first thing to step on them. The problem is it makes it at random spots, so it's not even really that good. But I lucked out, and so when this Hellhound moves forward, he's going to step in. Now, my opponent can't see the quicksand, so this is just going to completely work in my favor. I just moved my Royal Griffins forward, and now his Hellhound just stepped forward and basically lost his turn. So my Griffin can move next turn, beat down the Hellhound, and that just works out purely in my favor. I'm going to move my Cavalier straight in, and I'm just going to get my Marksman taking out some of their units. Imps don't have a ranged attack, but the Gogs do, so I'll kill them. Oh, morale is awesome. And I'll just take out most of his units. I feel sad. My swordsmen aren't going to get to do anything. He shot a lightning bolt. That jerk using magic to win fights? Witchcraft? So I ran out of spell points from that one quicksand cast that I accidentally did. So I'm just going to have to win this the old bludgeoning way. Actually, that's going to kill a lot of my griffins. That wasn't a good idea. Morale. Shoot those energy balls! I'm just doing a lot of damage, and now I'll be able to completely finish them off. Now, if I recall, the Cavaliers have a bonus. If they move and then attack, they do even more damage. So I only lost some Griffins, but I killed his hero. I slayed that fiery fiend. So, and I got some loot. And I leveled up, because that's awesome. Ah, that stupid Scholar ability. But I think it's the better thing right here. No, it isn't. Basic air magic. I'll take Scholar because I already have it. So I got rid of his unit, and I reclaimed my Sulfur Dune. And we're already at the end of week 3. Now Sylvia, she's going to end up going back to town to lick her wounds. Well, her inability to be the most useful fighter I have, because she's not a fighter. She's not saying she's a second-class citizen or anything. I'm just saying that I didn't expect that she was going to be getting into combat. So, I slayed one of my enemies, and I have a boat right here, which I can use to go explore and mess up whoever decided to take my Sulfur Dune. How dare they invade my useless possessions? So, I think I'm going to leave it right here, guys. I'm not going to quit without saving. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll be starting up another one and hopefully posting both of them today. Thanks again.